Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Online Classroom. In my previous video, we already discussed about the if part and if else part. Today we are going to discuss about the if else ladder and the nested if. So let's go to the topic. So before going to start the if else ladder, we have to know what is if else. If else ladder statement is an extension of to the if else statement, and it is used in the scenario where there are multiple cases to be performed for different conditions. Means what I want to mean that if in a program, if there are multiple conditions are there, then we have to use the if and else if. Okay, so it means if so in the right hand side there is a block diagram is there. So it means there is a condition. If the first condition is false, then we have to check to the next condition. If the next condition is also false, then suppose we have to check the next condition. Means if there are multiple conditions present in a particular program, then only we have to use the if else part. Let's go to the programming, then we can understand basically what I want to mean. So in this case, a program is there. A program is to calculate the grade of the student according to the specific marks. Means what I want to mean, if you got suppose 80 more than 85%, right? Then your grade will be A. And your marks, if in between basically 60 and 85, then it is B plus, and 40 to 60 it is B, right? So in this case, if you look this code, then you can see that is the entire marks scanf %d of ampersand of marks. So it means we have to take the input marks from the user, right? And the marks is an integer type, so that's why it is nothing but %d. After that, if marks means if this is a condition and your marks, we have to check the value of the marks. If the marks is greater than 85 and less than equals to 100, right? So then we can then if this marks lies between these two, then this printf statement will work. If it is false, then again it will go to the this else part. Okay, it means between 60 to 85. If it is also false, then 40 to 60, right? And if it is also false, then 30 to 40. So it means in that way you can write, or we can write multiple if else, multiple if statement in a single code. And last one, if all the cases are false, then directly it will go to the else part, and sorry, it will fail. Now if we if we run this code, in an online compiler, so basically let's run it. Okay, so once minute, I'm just simply copy and paste it in an online compiler, the same code, and if I press the run button, then enter your marks, right? So if I press suppose 50, if I press 50, and your score grade is B, right? And if I press the run button, and if I press suppose 10, so all conditions are fail, all conditions are false, and you are failed. So this will be your output. So basically this is the if else ladder statement. And in the next part, there is another thing is there. It is called means the if else nested if else statement, right? So in this case, this is quite similar, but but there is a difference. So in the previous code, we already discussed about how to write the more than one if statement in a single code. But in a nested if statement, if one if statement is lies on the another in the between of another if statement, right? So it means what I want to mean that if one if statement is there, and inside this if statement, if there is another if statement is there, then we can say it is nothing but a nested if. Means if one condition is true, then only it will go to the inside of the if statement. if inside of a if there is another if statement is written, then only we can say it is a nested if, right? So in this block diagram there is a condition 1 and condition 2 is there, right? So in the first condition, if it is true, then there is a second condition we'll check. If the first condition is false, then do not want to check the second one. No? So in that case, if we in that case the nested if statement is required. Now let's go to the one simple example. Okay, now in the in this case, this is a very simple program. If you look this program carefully, int main equals to I equals to 10, and there is one if statement is there, I double equals to 10. It means if the value of I equals to 10, then only it will correct, and then only it will go to the inside of this if. And inside this if statement, there is another if statement is required, I less than 15. So as the value of I equals to 10, obviously it is I less than 15. So it is only for the simplicity, only for to way by which you can understand clearly, right? So I less than 15. If this condition is true, then this printf will work, and there is another if statement is written, I less than 12. I less than 12, and also this condition is also correct, then it is smaller than 12, right? And else it will print I is greater than 15. Okay, I is greater than 15. So basically this is the condition. So what I want to mean that inside one if statement, if this if statement is correct, then only this I less than 15 will check, then only I less than 12 will check, right? Again, if we go to the programming session, okay, so let's run this code. Okay, I am just simply copy paste this code, and if I run to this code in online compiler, and if I press run button, then because the value of I written in I equals to 10 in the previously, so I is smaller than 15, I is smaller than 12 too, right? So if I give the value of I, equals to 9, and if I press run button, there will be no output. Why? Because no if statement is written. Means if this if statement is false, obviously one else statement must be there, but it is not written here, right? So no problem, we can write it in that way. Else, okay, printf and number. Suppose I print the number less than 10. Number is less than 10, right? Now if I press this, there is obviously a semicolon is there, and if I press the run button, then the number is less than 10, right? So, and if I give again 10, so as this if statement is correct, this else statement will not work. So as this if is correct, so in that way we can write multiple if statement, and we can say it is a nested if. Now again let's go to the PPT. Okay, so in the next part there is a decision making is there. Decision making means in C, or you can say in C++, or you can say in Java, there is a decision making programs are there. Decision making program means by which we can check the conditions, right? So in my previous video and this video we already discussed about, in my previous video we already discussed about the if and else if part, and in this video we already discussed about the else if later and the nested if, and another case is there, that is called the switch case, right? Switch case, what do we want to mean? Okay, so in this switch case statement, this switch we can write in C and C++ also. Okay, so in my next video we will discuss about the next part of the decision making, that is called basically the switch. So thank you all, thank you for watching.